Hello citizens of Tokusatsu Central, I'm Jared Rand, and today you have returned to R.T.R, aka Random Toku Reviews. Yep, that's right, with the return of Kamen Rider Decade in Kamen Rider Zi-O, I thought now would be an appropriate time to review the Korean version of the Kamen Rider Decade K-Touch, the device that allows Decade to turn into his final form, Kamen Rider Decade Complete. Yes, this is the Korean version, but it's practically the same. It has all of the same noises, all of the same stuff that comes with the original version, and the only difference is the box. So if you really care about the box, I guess you should try and hunt down the Japanese version, but otherwise this is exactly the same as the Japanese version. So we might as well jump right into what's included. So this comes with a couple of things. Let me just adjust the tripod. The K-Touch itself, the two cards that come with it, there's a cat right there, and of course the little buckle for the, get out of here, the little buckle for the camera portion of the Deca driver, which I did review before in a really shitty quality video. Gotta get the cat to come down, get down, come on, damn it, alright. Might as well jump into what each of these things are for. Starting off, we have two cards that come with the set that mainly work with the K-Touch itself. They don't actually work with the Deca driver because there's no real barcode for it to read. I mean, there's some form of a barcode right there, but otherwise it doesn't really work with the Deca driver. But these have two separate functions. If I could just pull in, there you go. The function of this card is mainly to say the years of the different Kamen Riders, which I'll show off later. I'm not sure if it has any use in the show, because I haven't seen Decade, or at least not entirely. I've seen a couple of episodes, but I don't exactly know what the functionality of this card is, if anyone could tell me in the comments. I know it does the years from the show, I just don't know what it's used for in the show, if it even is at all. But yeah, as you can see right there, some nice yellow detailing around the card with Decade Complete right there on the front of the card. Of course, the numbers on the keypad, the enter button and the cancel button on the back here. So some stuff in Korean. Not exactly sure what it says. And then the little nub right there is for the K-Touch to figure out which card this is. It has two nubs, one on the left, one on the right, and that's to differentiate the two cards. And here is the other card, which is used for transforming into Kamen Rider Decade Complete. That's why it says Decade Complete right up top. As you can see, it says Masked Rider Decade, which is what the Rider shows were Romanized before Double. Then they started calling them Kamen Rider, Double, O's, Forze, etc. This is a very nice card with some detailing around the side, some yellow detailing. The different rider symbols over there: Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Faiz, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Den-O, and Kiva. And then at the center, at the end right there, is Decade, and then Decade Complete right there with the card head. And then on the back, just have some, basically the reverse, but with some more detailing. That just says Decade across there, and then the barcode itself. Okay, moving on from that, here we have this piece. Now, if you don't know what this is, in the show, on the Decade belt, or the Decade driver, Deca driver, whatever, the K-Touch replaces the main camera bit. So the camera bit needs a place to go to. And so we use this, which just latches onto the side of the K-Touch, or the Deca driver, and you press the button, and that's how you operate that little bit right there, which I will show off how to use this later. Press it in. It's mostly done in silver plastic, of course, with Decade's logo right there on the top. Of course, some detailing around there. The spring, of course. Nothing really on the back. So, we might as well jump into the main event of the review. So here we have the star of the show itself, the K-Touch, this big phone-esque structure, which I'm very happy that the final form item is practically just a iPhone, because sort of shows the evolution of cameras in the form of the show. The main belt is themed after a standard camera. Actually, Decade has his own camera in the show, known as I believe the Bluebird Fly. I don't know, tell me the correct name in the comments below. I think I'm getting it close there. But the K-Touch is modeled after an iPhone, or a touchscreen phone. You can see the magenta, as he's been correcting in Geo recently. It's not pink, it's magenta. Apparently pink has a hint of yellow in it, or whatever he said. Magenta is all magenta. The nice little green button at the top, which I'm pretty sure for this is indicating an iPhone camera, but in most Kamen Rider there's always a jewel at the head of the rider, and I'm pretty sure that's what that is right here, as this is supposed to emulate Decade's face. Going in a little bit closer, as you can clearly see, it has the forward button, DCD, which, if you remember from last time, Geo is, his symbol is a DXD. Decade's is a DCD. I'm unsure what that actually means, though. Volume right there, full battery all the time, so you're locked and you're ready. Of course, at the bottom, has to say K-Touch, have to say the name. On the back, there isn't much to note. On the top, some nice silver, and that spring button right there that controls these two latches for the transformation and the usage with the actual belt. Right on the bottom is your on and off switch right here. We might as well show off what it does. Just right off the bat, I absolutely love the noises in this toy. It's so good. Okay, so right off the bat, there isn't much that you can really do if you press the buttons. Yeah, that's all it does. This mainly functions off of a touchscreen feature. It can't sense your finger. It actually is pressure sensing, so you have to actually press down. There's just different patterns. It's really all it does. You press this button, and there you go. Now, if you hold down one of the buttons, that's really all it does. That's all it really does. If you hold down this button right down here, that's all it does. Yeah. And if you didn't know, holding down that button right there is actually a volume control. So after turning this off and on, it'll go right back to normal. But holding this button down turns down the volume, and then holding it down again turns up the volume, which I find to be a really cool touch. Yeah, that's all it really does otherwise on its own. So we might as well pull in this card right here, the, by technicality, phone card that allows you to call other riders. So you just slide it into this slot right here. Okay, now what you can do is you can enter in separate years for Kamen Riders and basically call them in some form. I don't know what this is used for in the show. If anyone can tell me in the comments, that would be appreciated. So 2001 for Kuga. 2001 for Agito. 2002 for Ryuki. 2003 for Fies. 2004 for Blade, which was the year that I was born. Pretty interesting trivia. 2005 for Hibiki. 2006 for Kabuto. 2007 for Den-O. 2008 for a fan favorite of Kiva. I really love Kiva. Damn it. Notification right there. If you mess up, you press the X button in order to cancel it. And 2009 for Decade. Yes, that's what the name means. Now, if you hold down any of these buttons, that's all that does. If you hold down X, once again, it turns down the volume. Now, a quick little cheat. If you want to get any of the years really fast, then you press the last number in the year and hold it down in order to get the year. And boom, there you go. That's all that the phone mode can really do, so I might as well show off the main feature of the toy. Pull this right out, and we pull in the Kamen Rider card for Decade Complete. As you can see right there, all of the rider symbols light up. Quick little things right here. If you hold down this button, that's all you get. Hold down this, you know, lower volume. Real fast if you press the C button without pressing anything else. You get my favorite noise in the toy. I absolutely love the early 2000s noises that you get in this toy. It's just beautiful. Now, in order to get your transformation into Decade Complete, all you do is you press the multiple buttons for the riders in order from beginning to end. So, Kuga, and then finally Kiva. You'll get this standby noise until you finally end up pressing the Decade button. There you have your transformation into Decade Complete. Now, if you want, you really don't have to press all the buttons. You could just press the Decade button. And boom, there you go. A little bit of a fun thing that you can do now that you have transformed into Decade, or that Decade Complete, or you can even do after or before, is you can summon the final forms of previous riders. All of the ones shown on this K-Touch right here. Yes, this is an ability that Decade uses frequently in the show. He'll summon the rider to his side, and they'll basically copy all of his movements. You just press the symbol and press this F button, which I'm pretty sure means final form. So there you go. You have Kamen Rider Kuga Ultimate Form right next to you. I'm going to do this for all the riders. Now you got Agito Shining. Kamen Rider Ryuki Survive form. Blaster, and then Blade. So that was Blade's King form. Hibiki's armed form. Kabuto's hyper form. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, just so you can see clearly everything that's going on. Then Deno. So there you have Deno's liner form, and then finally Kiva. Once again, a fan favorite. Kiva in his Emperor form. So yeah, I really enjoy that little touch of being able to summon past riders' final forms. It's really cool. And quick little thing, yes, this is a complete fingerprint magnet, so do be wary of that. Now, we're going to zoom out and bring in an old friend. Yep, the Deca Driver. So, all you do is press that white button, hold it down, and pull it off. Now, that does sound painful, but I'm very sure that this will hold up. This is strong plastic. So, all you do is place it on the side right there, and then place this, clip it in like so, onto the side. This mainly works because there is a button right here, and that's how the belt differentiates of if it's spinning or not. And that button over there is pressing into it anytime you push this against the thingy. And then, of course, for Decade Complete, might as well just do the transformation really fast. And there you go. This is the main formation of the belt for Decade Complete in the show. Now, a little bit of a demonstration of what this can do now. I've got a couple of cards with me, specifically Den-O, the final attack ride for Decade, and then the final form ride for Phys. So, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So you have to hold it against the waist piece, which is a little bit annoying. In the show, he just boops it, and it happens. So, just going to do the final attack ride. So there you go, pull that out. And then Phys, my boy. It's a little bit of an issue. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this this boy over here. Might as well get on to my final thoughts. So overall, the Kamen Rider Decade DX K-Touch is a great and really enjoyable toy from the Decade line. All of the noises, I feel, are fairly well extended, and they, you know, kind of enjoyable in their own right. A lot of playability in this toy, with the 2 cards included, as well as the functionality with the Deca Driver. I really do think this is worth the very little amount of money that you have to pay for this on Amazon.com, which is where I got mine. This is super cheap on Amazon, about 25 bucks. And it's only the Korean version, but still, you get all of the same noises that you get from the DX Japanese one, so this is practically just the Japanese toy. Overall, I think this toy is definitely worth as much money as you throw at it. Really worth it, with all the noises that you have in the toy, as well as the really fun functionality with the Deca driver, and just the overall sounds with the actual toy. I do think this is absolutely worth your money. So, thank you guys for watching. Like if you enjoyed the video that much. Subscribe if you want to see more. And comment if you want to ask any questions about the actual toy. Damn it, vacuum. Check me out at ran.jared. That's my Instagram. And check out my other YouTube channel, Jared the Collector New. I don't think I'm going to be ending it, actually. I'm going to keep working on it and see how it goes. And I will see my fellow citizens of Tokusatsu Central next time with another R.T.R. review of the DX Legend Heroes of the Three Kingdoms Changer. I don't know the name exactly, but yeah, seems the land of Korea ain't actually that bad when it comes to Toku toys.